One of the things that I love about cars is as time goes on, the ones you used to not like at all, you begin to appreciate.
That's bad.
Now, what I mean by that, by appreciating cars that you didn't used to, is as time moves on, your opinions change, and your perspective on things change, and your situation in life changes, which is kind of part of the factor on why we picked this car up. But I'll get into that later. The point I'm getting at is I used to hate third gens. I did not care for them at all. They were $500 disposable pieces of trash to me, if I'm being honest. But that was back in the early 2000s when these cars were, 10, 15 years old. Now they are quite a bit older than that. This one in particular is 32 years old. Crazy. Yeah, this is a 91 Pontiac Trans Am WS6 car. You saw the performance suspension plaque on the dash. And truth be told, I never cared for these cars at all. And it was not until very recently that I had kind of one of those eye-opening moments where I was like, you know what? Maybe those cars aren't too bad. So like I said, this one is, I think, 32 years old and surprisingly only 82,000 miles. So this one's been pretty well taken care of. Now the story with this car is it belonged to someone in the service. It was shipped over to Hawaii, stayed there for who knows how long, and then just recently shipped back. So I'm at least its fourth owner, which I think is pretty common with third gens. The guy that I got it from didn't really do anything with it. He got it thinking he would like it, didn't like it, and now it's mine. Which I'll get into that deal later because that deal's going to piss some people off, like absolutely enrage them. Which, that's fine. I am a victim of my own foolish mistakes when it comes to this channel because I'll do things that are probably pretty negative for the channel, but I do it because I want to. Anyway, yeah, the guy he got it from was going to make it a hot rod, had to choose between motorcycle or car, chose motorcycle, sold the car. So, it is remarkably rust-free, which is always a plus, especially up here in Michigan. It does have a cracked windshield. He's supposed to be dropping off a new windshield that he had with it, hopefully this weekend sometime. And we'll get that tossed in. B&M, I think it's a mega shifter. I'm not a fan of those shifters. I really, really dislike that you lift the lever to get out of park and then do that, and then when you're slapping it up, you have to go to drive, lift it up, and then go to park. I think that's just stupid. Maybe it's not all of them, but everyone that I've used has been like that, so I dislike them. So I don't know if that'll stay, but it kind of fits the car. So, and it's already in there and working really well. Brand new BFGZs, which is always good. Tires are expensive nowadays, which makes it all the more unfortunate that the idiot put these dinky little guys on the front. So I've already got new tires coming for the front because we ain't living with that. These are 205 50/16s. I've got some 245 50/16s, which is the stock tire size. The rears are 255s already, which is sweet because that's like a a pretty common size for the stock wheel for people hot rodding these cars. It is a 305 TPI 700 R4. Probably not going to stay like that. This is where things get kind of amusing. So, the buddy that I got this car from, he's had it for 3 months, I think. And basically, since he got the car, he was messaging me like, hey, that S10 you got, I want that S10. I want that S10. Trade me the S10 for this car. And I kept telling him, no, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. And then finally the other day, he messaged me again. He's like, hey, man, I saw that you had the S10 up for sale. Trade me for the Trans Am. And I was like, let me think about it. And like I said earlier, the deal to get this car is where some people are going to get pissed off, but is what it is. The S10, it needed a little bit of work, but we all knew it would run a 12, so it wasn't really critical to me. But I know a lot of people like that truck. A lot of people like S10s. They're a dime a dozen. So finally, I talked to my wife about it, and I was like, hey, what do you think about this car? And she was like, you know, and we've been talking about this for a while, that precious Fiero in there only has 2 seats. And we have multiple children, which is part of why I haven't finished that, because we've had the conversation before of, well, when's it ever going to get driven? It would basically be me driving it, because, you know, when would she drive it? So I was like, well, if it's not going to get driven, not a huge priority, which is part of why I haven't finished that car. Not the entire reason. The rest of it is just me being lazy. You know, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm lazy, and I, you know, kind of push that car to the side, literally. So showed her this, and she's like, you know, it's got back seats. We could drive the kids around in it. If you kind of look at it from the right angle, looks pretty similar to the Fiero. Similar color, not quite the same, but damn close. What if we got that, instead of building the Fiero for Jess, we build the Trans Am for Jess? And I was like, not have to finish the Fiero. 3rd gens are catalog cars that go together really quickly. Yeah, screw it. So we made the deal. He gave me the Trans Am and some cash on top, and I traded him the S10. We said sayonara, and we are now the proud owner of a 3rd gen. I don't know. I haven't really, still trying to kind of come to terms with that. You know, I talk shit about it, but this is, I've had an 84 Firebird, and I had an 83 Camaro, and I drove an 84 Camaro for a little bit. So this is the 4th 3rd gen I've had. You know, maybe I just talk a lot of shit. Maybe that's what it is. I just run my mouth too much. Anyway, so now we were discussing what to do with this. I initially thought, you know, let's just fix it up, find the Trans Am wing for the back, which is eek, fix the windshield, maybe respray it, and just drive it. And then, you know me, I mentioned, well, kind of have a hard time just leaving it alone. I mean, this thing makes 220 horsepower, 305. What if we LS swapped it? And then I was like, no, let's leave it alone. Let's leave it as a driver, and I'll finish some other stuff. And I kid you not, just this morning, like an hour ago, Jess was like, well, it would be cool to LS swap it. And I was like, God damn it. God damn it. All the small block Chevy guys, they're never going to watch these videos if I keep getting rid of them, you know? But I've got a good 60E. Well, I hope it's still good. I've got a 60E that we could toss in it. You know, keep overdrive, keep it a cruiser. I'm not going to 80E swap this thing. This thing's not going to make a bunch of horsepower. I know that there's a lot of you that hear 60E and your butthole puckers, but I think that they've got their place in the world. And I think this would be a good place for it. So I've got a 60E. I've got... Good Lord, man. How many turbos do I have sitting around this place now? I got the Precision 88. I got the Power Stroke turbo off the Mustang. On 376. VS 78. I got the Vortec blower. I got the VS 85. And I got this 76 here. So it's like, at some point, I've got to start using these things up. I can't just keep accumulating. And I've got, I think, 5 intercoolers laying around. And then naturally, we go ahead and not put an intercooler on jack. Like, what are we thinking, man? We are so stupid. Anyway, that thing, basically, motor mounts, fuel system. I'm pretty sure that Trans I have has a converter. We wouldn't even really need to cam swap it. Although we probably would, why not? Just make a fun cruiser out of it. You know, something that has a good rumble and does good burnouts. We'll probably take it to the track, of course. Why not? We take everything to the track. And hopefully here pretty soon we can start taking Jack to the track again. So yeah, that is probably going to be the replacement for the Fiero. I know. Some people are going to be heartbroken. Some people aren't going to care. So I might pull the intake and turbo system off of this car and get it running naturally aspirated and then sell it as a runner, or if anybody's interested in it like this. Who knows? Plus, you know, one great side effect about third gens is that no matter what engine is in them and how little horsepower they make, they do great burnouts.